Starting October 28th, your old age security maximum jumps to $762.50 a month if you're 65 to 74, and $838.75 if you're 75 or older. But 5 more OAS and GIS changes land that very same week, and number 6 is the one most people get completely backwards. It can cost a low-income senior thousands of dollars a year. Stay with me, and let's go through all 6. Number 1. The October raise itself, and why you have to check the exact deposit. Every 3 months, Service Canada readjusts OAS to inflation, and for the October to December 2026 quarter, the increase is 1.4%. That's on top of the earlier bumps this year. So from October 2025, your OAS is up about 3% over the full year. In real dollars, the maximum for ages 65 to 74 moves to roughly $762.50 a month, and for 75 and over it climbs to about $838.75. That 1.4% adds roughly $10.50 a month for the younger group, and about $11.50 for the older one. Small monthly, but $126 to $138 over the year, and it compounds into every future quarter. The guaranteed income supplement and the allowance rise by that same 1.4%. Here's the part people miss. The first payment at the new rate arrives October 28th, not the first of the month. So when that deposit hits, open your My Service Canada account and confirm the number actually went up. Thousands of seniors never look, and a check stuck at the September rate can sit uncorrected for months. If your October 28th deposit still shows the old figure, that's your signal to call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914 immediately. One man had his raise never applied after an address change. His deposit stayed at $752 instead of $762.50, and roughly $80 was quietly gone before he noticed 6 months later. Service Canada backpaid him, but only because he finally called. The clock matters too. The department generally only corrects underpayments going back a limited window, so a deposit you ignore for a year is money you may never recover. 2 minutes checking that deposit protects the entire increase for the rest of the year. Number 2. The GIS increase and the recalculation trap that can stop it cold. GIS also rises 1.4% this quarter, pushing the single senior maximum to roughly $1.139 a month. But GIS is income tested, and every July it's recalculated from the tax return you filed for the previous year. That's where people get hurt. If you didn't file your 2025 taxes, Service Canada has no income figure, and your GIS can be suspended or dropped to zero, even if you still fully qualify. This is the single most common way low-income seniors lose a payment worth over $1,000 a month. Picture a widow living on OAS plus $1.139 in GIS. She skips filing because her only income is government checks and she assumes there's nothing to report. Come July, her GIS stops, and she's suddenly short $1.139 every single month, over $13,000 a year, for a return that would have taken 20 minutes at a free tax clinic. So check 2 things this week. First, confirm your 2025 return was actually filed and assessed, not just prepared, but received by the CRA. Second, look at whether your October GIS deposit is still landing. If GIS suddenly stopped over the summer, a missing or late tax return is almost always the reason. And the fix is simply filing. Service Canada can reinstate and backpay once your income is on record. The Community Volunteer Income Tax Program runs free clinics for anyone under roughly $35,000 in income, so cost is never the excuse. Don't assume a zero payment means you no longer qualify. 9 times out of 10, it's paperwork, not eligibility. And every month you wait is another $1,000+ you don't get back automatically unless you act. Number 3. The OAS clawback line and whether your 2025 income crossed it. The recovery tax threshold for 2026 sits at $95.323 of net income. For every dollar above that, the government claws back 15 cents of your OAS through what's officially called the OAS recovery tax. Cross far enough, around $154.753 if you're 65 to 74. Or $160.696 if you're 75 plus, and your OAS is wiped out entirely. Now, Most GIS recipients are nowhere near this, but if you sold a property, cashed a large RRIF, took a severance, or had a big one-time capital gain in 2025, you may have blown past $95, $323 without realizing it, and the clawback shows up as smaller monthly OAS starting this July and running through next June. Say you sold a cottage and it triggered $40,000 in taxable gains, pushing your net income to $120,000. That's about $24, $700 over the line, and 15 cents on each of those dollars claws back roughly $3, $700 of your OAS for the year. The classic mistake is converting an RRSP to ARRIF and pulling the whole balance in one December. One retiree withdrew $60,000 at once, lost about $9,000 of OAS on top of the tax, when spreading it over 3 years would have kept him under the line every year. Check your 2025 line $23,400 net income against that $95,323 number. If you're just over it, this is exactly where pension income splitting with a spouse or timing next year's withdrawals can pull you back under and restore the full check. Moving even $10,000 of income to a lower-earning spouse can save $1,500 in clawback. And remember what I said at the start. Number 6 is the change most people get backwards, so keep that one in mind. The clawback is annoying, but it's predictable and plannable if you actually look at the number instead of being surprised by a shrunken deposit. Number 4. The GIS income cliff and the year-end move that can erase your supplement. This is the one that catches people right now, in the fall. For a single senior, GIS phases out completely once your income, not counting OAS, reaches somewhere around $22,000 to $22,800 a year. And GIS falls fast. You lose roughly 50 cents of GIS for every extra dollar of income. So a single harmless financial move before December 31st can be brutal. Pull an extra $10,000 out of your RRSP in December to cover a new roof, and you haven't just paid tax on it. You may have knocked $5,000 off next year's GIS on top. That's an effective hit far bigger than the tax alone. Between tax and loss supplement, that $10,000 withdrawal can really cost you $7,000 in your pocket. One retiree did exactly that to pay a contractor before the holidays. And by the following July, his GIS had dropped by more than $400 a month, a $4,800 surprise he never saw coming. The fix is timing. If you're a GIS recipient and you need a large withdrawal, splitting it across 2 calendar years, say $5,000 in December and $5,000 in January, or drawing from a TFSA instead, because TFSA withdrawals don't count as income, can protect the supplement entirely. Even cashing in a modest $5,000 GIC at maturity counts as income the year it matures, so watch those too. Do this math before New Year's Eve, not after, because once the calendar year closes, the income is locked onto your return, and there's no undo. Check any planned withdrawal, property sale, or RRIF conversion between now and December against that cutoff. Protecting GIS is almost always worth more than the convenience of one big lump sum. Number 5. The automatic 10% top-up at 75, and why some seniors never see it. Since 2022, once you turn 75, your OAS is supposed to jump by an automatic 10% for life. At the new October rate, that's the difference between roughly $762.50 and $838.75 a month, about $915 more a year, indexed and rising every quarter after that. It's meant to apply the month after your 75th birthday with no application required, but files with recent changes, a new address, a banking switch, a return from time abroad, sometimes don't flip over correctly, and the senior keeps getting the 65 to 74 amount. One woman turned 75 in March, moved departments the same month, and kept receiving $762 clear through the summer. The missing $76 a month had quietly cost her over $450 before her daughter checked the statement. So if you or a parent turned 75 this year, check the October 28th deposit specifically against that $838.75 maximum. The common error is assuming the birthday alone triggers it. It triggers off the file, and a file with a pending change can silently stall. If it's still landing near $762, the top-up wasn't applied, and Service Canada will correct it and back pay from the month you turn 75, but only once you flag it. Nobody at the department is scanning for this on your behalf. This is a quiet $900 plus a year that's yours by law, and the only thing standing between you and it is one glance at the actual number on your bank statement. Number 6. And this is the one most people get completely backwards. Everyone's heard that if you delay taking OAS past 65, your monthly check grows about 7.2% bigger for every year you wait, up to 36% more at age 70. So the smart advice you hear everywhere is defer, hold out, get the fat check later. But here's what almost nobody tells low-income seniors. GIS is only paid while you are actually collecting OAS. If you defer your OAS to get that bigger number, you also give up every dollar of GIS for those years. And GIS can be worth over $100 a month. Do the arithmetic. Waiting from 65 to 70 might add about $275 a month to your OAS, but over those same 5 years, you'd forfeit up to $68,000 in GIS you can never claim back. One man deferred to 70 on a bank advisor's tip, gained $275 a month, and only later learned he'd walked away from roughly $66,000 in GIS, a decision no bigger check could ever repay. Trading a guaranteed $100+ monthly supplement for a 7.2% bump on a $762 check is a losing deal by a mile. For most seniors who qualify for GIS, deferring OAS isn't a clever strategy. It's one of the most expensive mistakes in the whole system, quietly costing tens of thousands over a retirement. The rule flips only if your income is high enough that you'd never see GIS anyway. So before you delay a single month, ask one question. Would I qualify for GIS if I took OAS now? If the answer is yes, take it now. The bigger check later is a trap for the very people who can least afford it. So here's your one action step this week. Log into my Service Canada account and check 3 numbers: your October 28th deposit amount, your 2025 net income against $95, $323, and whether your GIS is still active. 10 minutes today can protect thousands this year. If this helped, subscribe and share it with one person over 60. The change they miss could be their own.